Hello everyone, today I'm presenting my senior project. The first part is introduction. So my project is mainly about the drawing of the traditional Chinese water paintings, and one of the purpose is to research more about my culture and also produce the one final painting about nature. The meaning and mission. Uh, so so I want this project to represent both my experience in China and America. When I moved to America for the first time in high school, everything was so different from my home. I felt as if a lot of students here were unfamiliar with the Chinese culture, and I had a hard time approaching others because of that. I think that the art form would be a great way of exposing fellow students to the culture I feel most at home with. Moreover, I have always been surrounded by nature since I was a child. I would spend weekends at my grandparents' garden and our family's farm, where I was around different kinds of animals and plants. I wish to illustrate these experiences in the images and also to spread the Chinese culture. And one of the other mission is to stepping out of the comfort zone by challenging myself to draw. The second part is about steps I have taken. So first part is the research. I have used these resources to help with the drawing process. I have learned the history of Chinese painting, the roots of Taoism, and the importance of nature. And here's my mentor, Mr. Chen. My mentor is the very experienced Chinese painter, and he has been painting for over 50 years. He taught me the basic painting skills throughout this semester, and I have received all feedback and advice for my final project from him. Here's an interview with Mr. Chen, and here's one of the questions I asked him. So I've interviewed my mentor to learn more about his own experience in Chinese painting that can be useful to my own journey. I also wanted to get some more advice from him to introduce myself into the world of traditional paintings. I learned how this painting style is meaningful to my Chinese culture and what direction I should go towards my final piece. This part is my action plus my PSU, which is on my weekly website. So my first step is doing research. So what important part I learned from the research is the Shanshui painting, which is Shanshui means mountain and water. Important part of it is a composition, and the second part is to draw. So I started from simple objects like shrimp or cabbage. So through like painting these simple images, I learned the importance of paint strokes and also the difference between the light and dark by using the strokes since most of the time we only use dark color in the painting. And step three is to have more practice in drawing. For example, this fish here. And through um, drawing more complicated um, objects, I learned how to capture the free form of those animals or plants or lives on the paper. And the fourth step is to visit the art gallery. So I visited a famous painter's art gallery in in my city with my mentor, and he has walked through all the paintings there with me. He has also compared the difference between that guy's style and my mentor's style, and I also gained certain inspiration for my final piece. And the picture I showed before on my mentor's page was the one we took at the gallery. Step five is to do the interview, which I interviewed both my mentor and one of his students who is a business person. And step six is my last practice painting, which I drew some plants out of some landscape, like plants with rocks. So through this last practice painting, I have make myself more skillful with the brush control and the difference between thin lines and thick lines. And the last step will be painting my final piece. And here are some process of final piece I have taken. I, I have taken the pictures uh, throughout the practice. I gained the inspiration of my final piece when I went to like a park and saw a lot of like old people. They were playing chess and just enjoying like the afternoon under like the trees. So I thought that I could use another form to illustrate this scene by putting it into like a more of Asian type things. Most of the Chinese traditional painting have been used to depict the old times. And here's the part I'm drawing part of the tree, the leaves. And there's more part and with the previous one about rock. And then I started coloring it because I do want to make some difference on my own painting. I want to make it um, more stand out and unique. So I try to use some like colors, but not like super bright color, but some kind of like darker color, like dark green, dark red, to do my um, final final piece. And here is more process of drawing the leaf. And here I started the person. The person part has always been hard for the painting, and I spend a lot of time in practicing them. And here's another person. So it takes a lot of time to try to capture their body movements to make it natural and seems logical to the scene. Here's the third person who's watching them. And on the last day, I went to put on the color and more details with the help of my mentor. Um, and here's my final piece um, for the for the class, which has the rock, the landscape, and leaves with colors, and four men sitting there. So on the last day, I have put on the color on them, but I just take the last picture on the last day. The third part is about enduring understanding. So the major challenges throughout this semester in this class, the first one is to finding time to draw, and there's also more time needed to go outside and observe the nature. One of In one of my interview, uh, Miss Wang have also told me that one of the most important part for painting is to observe the nature, and also about brush control and the water control, and also the creativity. Some of my major takeaways. The first one is that only practice can give you skill, and solely watching others taking lectures will not help you to improve your skill. And mastering this painting takes a lot of time, effort, and practice, sometimes years, like my mentor. And loving to do something can be motivation. Like if you're doing something against your willingness, you won't be successful. And also, it requires a lot of patience while painting. So this experience really helped me to learn to be calm and to use painting as a form of meditation. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you, everyone.